Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Trade Academy. I'm sitting here, I'm looking at these crypto bubbles. We got green all over the daily right now, guys, and things are looking pretty good on the markets. I won't lie, but when we come over here and we take a look at what's going on right now with Bitcoin, I'm seeing a setup for a short right here. We did it on Tuesday. Is it ready for a round two? Guys, let's find out. Let's get it. Let's go. Let's roll that footage. Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Trade Academy. This is our show that we come at you in the afternoon on Tuesdays and Thursdays. FDY and we sit here, we go through the charts, we go, hey, if I was looking at this from a trades perspective right now, how would I set this trade up? What's the strategy I would use? Where would I put my indicators? What are the indicators telling me? How do I find confluence? If any of those questions just triggered you and you said, I don't know the answer to that, then you found the right place. This is Trade Academy, and this is what we do here. Let me go ahead and bring my roadie up here because gotta do the show with FD White. This is the guy right here when it comes to those trade strategies. So FD White, what's up, bro? How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Ready to knock some of these trade setups out and see if we can make some money.
Let's do that. Let's do that. Are you seeing anything on your Bitcoin chart right now screaming to you it might be time to short? Because I'm seeing some hella short indicators on mine, man.
I see some. I'm kind of in between, man. I think I don't know if my bullish bias is coming out, but I kind of see something a little bit bullish. Let me know what you think once we pull it out.
All right, well, I'm not going to waste anyone's time. I'm going to go ahead and jump over. By the way, if you guys can tell, I got my green screen set up in the studio, so we can got all kinds of new things that I can do now for this. Crux said, I love this thumbnail. Yeah, that is me just being ridiculous today, guys. I'm going to start, I guess I got to start doing the O faces so I can get more than 5 live viewers at a time. Let's go over here and check out the charts, guys, and see what we're seeing over here. Looking at this on Bitcoin right now. Now, Tuesday about 2 o'clock here, we were in, let's see, right there. That was the candle I was watching, and we were rejecting off of the dynamic reactor on the chart prime indicators here. And it said, hey, look, this is a short opportunity. And yes, it did. It was about a 5% move to the downside. I was on the 10x leverage. That was 50. That was a 50% move for me. It was good. 10x leverage at 5%, 50% returns. Good move, right? Well, we're actually setting up right here. And I literally used this scenario to talk to one of our members in our community, Buck. And I said, hey, when you're coming in here, the reason that you want to set stop losses, and I was explaining the whole concept behind risk management and stop losses. I said, being this close to the quantum reactor, which is this line running right above the dynamic reactor, I said, you have to understand that as many times as we've tapped this, the Sheldon Cooper effect, eventually you keep knocking on that door and the door opens, right? We have a strong likelihood of heading up here. So I obviously don't want to set my stop loss too low because then I'm cutting myself off from where it's going to get hit there. So that's exactly what happened. We wicked up to the top of this. Now we are pushing up on the quantum reactor. And when I look down here, what I'm seeing on the oscillators, we got a bearish divergence that printed there. We had a VWAP overbought that was printed in there. And we're starting to do this little wave where we're going to do, if this goes up again, we are going to do another bearish divergence. The true 7 is running flat. You can see that the volume matrix really running flat and the money is still in the red. And it looks like it's about to curve back down. Let's bring that into focus here a little bit. It's curving up right now, but it is coming into line on the 0 line. But this is weakness, in my opinion. The fact that this money is going up, but the volume flow is not really getting us up there. Let me bring that back down to show you that. Money's going up and that money flow and that volume is not really increasing with it. And when you see things like that, it typically gives you a sign that there's exhaustion. There's exhaustion in the streets and now they're ready to bring this down. So I do think that what I'm seeing right now is a setup for a short on Bitcoin. I'm probably going to enter that. I'm not going to lie. I'm probably going to enter that thing. Let's go ahead and cut it back over to the Duo Cam. TradeFly, what are you seeing on yours? And do you want to go ahead and pull up your chart and get us going there?
We got to call TradeFly to see, man. This but you said TradeFly. FD.
What's that?
We here. So no, you said TradeFly. Yeah.
Hold on.
It's all good, man.
Hold on. No, it's not. I apologize. I failed you, man. FD,
That's good.
what do you see on your charts, bro? It's because you guys are like the pair. You guys are so
Yeah.
good on the night show, dude. I'm telling you, the nightcap show is fire.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and hit over
Thank
to
you.
your charts, though, and see what you're seeing there, man.
So I do see
Oh,
when I
I
look
don't
at
have a chart.
the
You
part.
didn't share a chart with
Oh,
me.
here we go.
Yep, that's why. That's why. That's how I know the
There we
difference
go.
between you and Trade Flag.
All right, there we go.
There we go.
All
That's
right,
beautiful. Look at that.
cool. So I am seeing that that bears divergence. I'm on the 4 hourly. Do see that bears divergence starting to form on the prime oscillators. So that does, I'm definitely a divergence trader when it comes to like 4 hour or daily time frames. That gives me a signal for a top, or bullish divergence giving me signal for a bottom. But I mean, my I don't know if I'm stretching it here, but I kind of see some sort of inverse head and shoulders. I don't know if my bullish bias is just coming out or what. I don't, I really would want to see a bigger hump there, ahead, and then we do have some sort of a shoulder right here, and we possibly could say the neckline is here. So if we could do an if then statement. So if Bitcoin proceeds to break out of this neckline that I've drawn right here, I'm not going to say what else that looks like, but if it breaks out of this neckline here, usually we can have some sort of a measured move from the head to the neckline, and that will take us up right to my red bar here at about 62K. So this would have to be something. I think this would have to be like some sort of bullish news or something. I'm not sure if we're going to get anything like this just off the technicals. I think some fundamentals need to put some fuel in the fire for us to get past this neckline right here. And we do have the decision coming in next Wednesday. So if we just not don't come down too much or don't go up too high, we just start trickling along under this resistance area here at about 58.2. Possibly next week we could get a breakout, and possibly get up to that 62K area. But like you said, everything is pointing. Let me go back here. Everything is pointing towards a short. My bullish bias or my bullishness is just coming out a little bit. Like I said, I'm looking at this divergence right at this bearish divergence, right at resistance. So I'm just gonna let the chart tell me what to do and see what kind of candles we get these next 4 hours, probably the next 8 hours. See what kind of candles we get, and then I'll start to make my decision from there. Because if we do get rejected, I mean, we have a long way to go down. We've been teetering between like 50, 55 and 58. So if I miss this first, five, six, $700 move down, I could still get in at this, at some levels here. We have a level here at about 56, 750. We hold that as resistance, or we come down and break through that, then we can, catch a little bit of the move. So I'm just trying to catch a little bit of the move. I never really try to catch the whole move. If you catch a whole move, usually you're getting lucky. So just catch a little bit of the move here and there, and it'll all just add up over time.
Dude, I'm dying. I'm laughing so hard. I'm glad I was muted. I'm dying over here. Username, talking about what did you just draw? Archbit said,
Yeah,
that's a suspicious
that's
drawing,
what I
man.
said.
That's a very suspicious drawing. I'm just gonna put that out there.
Yeah, man. I'm
So,
not. I'm not. It's a family friendly show, man. I'm not gonna tell you the pattern that I just
exactly,
drew, but we're gonna.
exactly.
Yeah.
Family friendly. That's right. Hey, username. By the way, I just wanted to show you, man. I've got a background just for you here. Let me go find it here for 1 second. Hold on. This is just for you. From now on, when I see you in chat, if you say there's not enough plants, I'll there you go. I got that for you, username. Plenty of plants to go around. Everybody gets a plant. You get I'm the Oprah Winfrey of plants now. So there's our new plant setup. Let's go ahead and jump in and are you looking at any other alts right now that you're watching, or are you just primarily focusing on Bitcoin? And then if something pops up on Bitcoin, then you'll go look at your alts. Is that what you're doing right
Yeah.
now? Or how are you approaching your
So,
trade
yeah.
setup? Go through that for me.
So basically, if Bitcoin can proceed to reclaim that 59 to 60K area, then I know alts, these move for alts will be a little bit more sustainable. So I do have a few on my radar. When Bitcoin moves a couple percent, I have my true five that I usually go to, like Popcat, Dogecoin, Solana, Bitcoin, and I've added Bitcoin Cash, a proxy to Bitcoin, and I'm thinking about putting stacks back in there, because I think once Bitcoin does start to rally again, we saw at the beginning of the year that these Bitcoin proxy, like ordinals and things like that, these Bitcoin proxy plays went up very hard too. So I'm starting to incorporate those, not into like longer term holds, but as in case of like longer swing trades, maybe a few weeks here and there, as opposed to just scalping. But we have to reclaim these key levels, like I said. I can't hear you, Piper.
Also, Bitcoin Cash is one, and then also when you have like Ethereum Classic, that's another one. When Ethereum starts to move,
Yeah,
Ethereum Classic can get super pumpy, I wouldn't own it, but I would definitely trade it. Right? So there's there's
exactly.
girls you take home to mom and girls you don't, and there's coins that you trade and coins that you hodl. I'm just going to say that out there. So let's go ahead and take a look at what I'm seeing over here on my chart, and then we'll come back. Well, actually, you got Bitcoin Cash going.
You go ahead and I'll pull it back up. I had
Okay.
it on the nightcap yesterday. Let me make sure I still got all my drawings and stuff on there.
Yeah, awesome. Let's jump over here. I'm gonna take a look here what I'm seeing on some of these alts. Let's see here. Let's do a little thing here. Let's come over here. Let's take a look at what we're seeing on the bubbles here. Sui's pumping pretty good right now. I'm gonna look at some of these reds that I know are decent projects that might actually get a pump off of this, like Optimism. That's one of those. Uniswap. Um, but really these green ones, because I'm really thinking that Bitcoin's going to pull back. So yeah, you can see here on the hourly, this was green a little while ago. We're already starting to get the pullback, guys. Let's go. I'm gonna go check out Sui. We're gonna go with Sui, and then we'll see what it looks like. Come here, Sui. This is Eric Wallen's coin, man. He loves this thing. He's been riding some trades on this. Sui. It was right there. There we go. Yeah, Sui's up here. Sui's trying to hold, I should say, the 786 here. This is a very key area. Actually talked about this yesterday, I believe. I said we did break above the 786, and if we can hold this, then we will logically be heading to the 7. I did. I absolutely said this. Told him $1.03 is what I told him when we were looking at this, and that's where it went to. So if this does get rejected, guys, we're very likely going to be heading back down to this level. You can see running across here, that gray that's now green right there, that is the quantum reactor from the market Oracle Pro. And then this is the dynamic reactor. They're both coming into confluence right here on that 887. If you want to know what that is, let me get rid of all the Mexican spaghetti there. Bring this down, isolate that chart, guys. This is the fibs coming all the way back from our drops. So these fib levels pulled back here on January 24th up to the top point on March 24th. And then, you got your retracement, right? That was a bottom to a top. We run the fibs off of that, and then we look for retracements back down. And you can see very well respected platinum pockets here. And then we did get a couple of breaks below this. And right now, this is key resistance that we have been under now going back to August 11th. So since August 11th, this has been key resistance on SUI. I would think that if Bitcoin pulls back, that we're going to lose that level of that level again and come back down as resistance. So let me get those off there. There we go. Bring that in and take a look here, see how that's looking. Yeah, we're fighting here. It does look like it's trying to flag, but if Bitcoin pulls back, I do think SUI is going to see a pullback with it, and it would not be surprising to see it come right back here to 88.5 cents in line with multiple confluence points plus my fibs. And then if we go in here, I want to pull a couple of other things up here. Let's throw the ribbons on. Yeah, you're going to have the 100-day moving average running through there also, right on top of that. So that would be another one. And let's check liquidity. Let's check the liquidations. Looks like we have some points of liquidity right here below the dynamic reactor, about 85.8 cents, but it does look like we have some pretty strong chunk of liquidity up here too, around $1.17. But again, it's going to be dependent upon if Bitcoin pulls back, doing that magnetism pull down. I want to check one thing here. Nope. Let's check this one. Yeah, we got a fair value gap right below us also that would make sense for it to just come down and clean out that fair value gap. That's off of that candlestick right there. So yeah, looking here on the oscillators, what I'm seeing, we are sitting here getting small candles on the past 8 hours actually. Those small candles usually indicate, you can see one right there, that was an indication before it pulled back. This usually indicates on Heikinashi a reversal of the price action. If we go even further back here, you can see very small candles there. That was before that pullback. So this does look really, really tired. It's exhausted. It's run up. We even getting that right there on the bullish power battery. That is the power bar. It is starting to do that bright green, and typically that is showing exhaustion. We have peaked out here. We clipped on the true 7. Money flow is now starting to come back down. And then if I come over here, we'll just do one more thing just to make sure, because I don't want to give you guys bad info that doesn't play out. So let me check here and get rid of everything on this one so I can have a fresh, clean chart. We'll just do a side-by-side run here on SUI, looking at the heat map over here with the RSI on the right. Yeah, we're getting nice, bright, hot orange here also. And you can see the last time we hit that there, that was the downside movement. Back here, hit it. That was downside movement. So yeah, looking at this, guys, it does look like we got the downtrend. We're starting to slope down. We've got the overbought on the Oscillator Pro Plus. And then, like I said, money flow coming down with it. This is giving me indication that SUI could be setting up for that pullback. I actually think I'm bullish on SUI, and I actually think that I'm going to say it. I'm locally bullish on Bitcoin right now too. That being said, if this pulls back, I would consider a long down at about 89 cents on SUI. Just to catch that, because this is a very, very strong level of support in SUI's pretty darn good project. So that's what I'm seeing there on that. Definitely looking for that to be a long entry. So
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
what you got on your chart there, bro?
Oh, I got Bitcoin Cash. So I like this setup because this is I had this trend line drawn for about a year. Well, I took it back all the way for about a year. So about August of 23rd, we started showing this. What's going on with my trading view? We started showing this last night on the crypto nightcap, but we really didn't go too far in depth. But we can do it right now. So I mean, August 2023, we've been respecting this trend line over and over and over and over and over again. So even when we had that Black Monday, when the Japanese carry trade, we did get a deviation below, but I mean, it was just a wick. This is on a daily. We popped right back up and closed back above it. We did come down for a few days, maybe about possibly maybe a week, but we can also count this as a deviation at the beginning of September, and we've managed to reclaim it. So what I'm looking at right now is let's actually zoom in on the hourly to get some price action, and then we'll pull up our indicators and oscillators. Yesterday, I was looking at something of a bull flag or a bull pennant. So I drew this out yesterday. It didn't play out. It didn't play out. So right now, our plan A did not work out. So we broke down. Of course, we got the retest. Then we broke down a little bit more. Now it just seems like we're trying to figure out what we want to do. We actually came down and held this right here as support. So now what I'm looking at is for us to potentially hold this as support and possibly continue our way higher. So Bitcoin Cash, like I said, is Bitcoin does well. This will do well, but we do have this upper sloping trend line that is been macro support. So even if we do break down from this level here, we break down here. I'm definitely looking to bid in this area here at about 320 to 325 because this is a macro support resistance level. So I'm going to be looking at something right here, and then we can actually look and see what we have going on. We have money flow actually coming out. This is on the let's actually go to a higher time frame. Money flow is coming out on the 4 hour. Let's actually go to the daily to get a little bit better. So money flow is still, it's coming down. We got the VWAP curving down. We did have that bullish divergence on the daily that played out when we came down to about 293, popped all the way up. But that was just that deviation. This would have been a great trade. And usually when you have macro supports or resistance like this and we deviate and then we reclaim it, I really get bullish on things like that. So I'm leaning very bullish for Bitcoin Cash, barring Bitcoin meltdown. I don't think we're gonna melt down anytime soon. I made a video over on my channel earlier talking about these next 10 days is gonna tell me a lot about the direction of Bitcoin and the direction of the markets. We had Nvidia pop today. I take all of this into confluence when I'm just trading things like this. For like 4 hour or daily swings. But when it comes down to like entries in the 1 hour and below, like I said, right now what I'll be looking for is us to potentially hold this. If we don't hold this, see, this is like a B list setup, maybe a C list setup. I don't know why this keeps popping up. And then this would be like a A plus plus setup for me because of how much support we've been holding since August of 2023. So I would rather wait and see what it does here. We're at 332, so another $10-15 down. Bitcoin does lose this $58,000 level and comes down to about 57, 56. We could potentially see Bitcoin Cash come down here, and then I'll probably look for longs in this area here to retest this bottom side at about 330 to 332 for take profit one, and then we'll have take profit two at about 343, which will be the high of Wednesday. So that'll be some of my setups that I'm looking for Bitcoin Cash, longer term and shorter term. So I think I need to put that in the Discord as well. That's an easy setup. This is an A plus setup for me.
Nice. Yeah, I'm sitting here looking at this chart, man. Have you looked at XRP today? Have you watched what it did today?
I seen it got a good pop up earlier. I
Yeah.
haven't
So
look
it,
at
it
it.
broke a trend line, but I want to show you what in the happy scam wick is going on with this chart. Check this out, man. We
Oh
had
my
this nice
goodness.
trend line here that it broke above, got a nice clean breakout, popped up, but then look, I want to show you something.
Pop right back
You see
down.
that dump indicator right there? That says, hey, when this thing is red, you don't want to go long. You don't want to buy. That's what this is telling you. Okay. So that confluence of that and then this quantum reactor being red tells you that's probably not something that you want to get into. Now, if you had broke this, just traded the breakout just by itself, sure, great. But then you get into this massive, like it was what 40-60% retracement off of that candle there to the downside. And now we're trying to hold the dynamic reactor. But I am betting you that somebody didn't get this breakout. They were waiting for the retest and it kept going up. And then they got into it and they were like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And now they're in the hole on their trade because by the time it actually picked up in there with that slippage, they were well into that wick. So hopefully this continues up. I do think it's going to pay a revisit here to the quantum reactor if anybody's in that trade, but I would definitely be watching carefully for that. We do have another trend line up here. This was the crossroads trade that I talked about one day not long ago, back in early August there, where we had multiple long-term trend lines all playing out at that one point, and I was like, this is an ugly crossroads to break through. So I would expect that we are going to make a trip back up to that to retest that trend line. If we go back and look at how far that one goes back, guys, it's an old trend line. It goes all the way back here to the top wick on 13 July of last year, 2023. So I would think that we were going to come back up and test that. So if you got caught on that wick pullback, don't fret. You might be okay. Just keep in mind, right now we are clipped on the True 7. The oscillator is starting to get a curvature. We've got overboughts up here, and then the money flow does look like it's about to do a little curve back down. Let me highlight that for you. It's came up a tick green and now it's starting to curve. So I do think that that is going to give another turn back down. So really, it's a matter of it catching this 236 before it goes up there to that. We are getting pretty hot and oversold on the RSI also, and you can see historically that has been the turnaround point. So um, that I am positive somebody got hurt on that trade to this morning on that breakout if they didn't catch it right at the breakout. So, which I never recommend doing. I think getting a retest is always your best bet, and then you wouldn't have been caught because you were waiting for the retest, and that's okay if it doesn't get hit because not being in a position is a position. So,
You know what? You know what I've noticed over the past 2 weeks or 2 or 3 weeks to a month? Like a lot of times, like of course we always wait for breakouts. That's how I was taught is wait for a breakout and a
Yep.
retest. But a lot of these coins are breaking out, and then when the retest comes, they're just falling right back through the through that that SR flip, that SR point. So it just really depends. Like if you go back to my chart, let's go to my chart. I got the XRP chart up. um, this is on the 15 minute. This is just I just got some trend lines here because I've been watching XRP from a macro scale. But even if we just draw trend lines, like we have a trend line here, we had use it as support here, then use it as resistance here, resistance here. So when it broke out, I mean, breakout traders could have possibly, we have to probably zoom into the 5 minute. I mean, even the 5 minute candle was like you had to like zoom into the hourly if you wanted like some sort of confirmation. But I mean, even if you would have just bought the breakout, let's say at about 55 cent, and then you had your other two trend lines drawn here, which I had these for a very long time. I mean, your take profit one and almost your take profit two would have got hit. So sometimes breakout traders, they you have to have a lot of patience and a lot of risk management to be a breakout trader. Usually I wait for the retest, that OC retest, just to give me confirmation that wasn't just an emotional move and that is actually a structural technical move.
Well, you also got to be sitting on your charts too to catch that breakout. Like if you weren't
Yeah.
sitting on that this morning, then you would have missed it. A lot of times you'll get that little scam wick right above it, and you'll go, "Oh, it's breaking out," and then it pulls back in. So waiting for that candle close, that would have been a tough trade this morning. But I want to jump over here and show something real fast. This is one of the things that I watch right here, right over there. And we talked about this on Tuesday. We had the same scenario where we were hitting critical resistance, and market cap was up, but volume was down. And so when I see this, guys, it tells me that it's a weak growth. Like your volume should not be down when you've got that buying. That means that buyers are, they've spent all their money. They weren't fighting through resistance, right? They weren't fighting through resistance from sellers. And so now it's just a simple matter of as soon as the bears come around, they're going to be able to topple it down. It's not very strong. I like to see market cap up with that volume up. And that usually gives me that indication that it's a strong growth, or the same thing. If it's dropping, I want to see higher volume as this is going down. That tells me that there were bulls and bears fighting for that position, and it was earned by whichever side won. When I see a weak volume like that, down 13.1%, and I see market cap come up, it tells me that it's pretty weak growth right now. So, um, yeah, that's what I got there.
I got,
What do you got?
I
What
got,
else you got on your chart?
I got the DX. I was looking at the DXY earlier, which gave us a little bit. Bitcoin did have that nice little pump. So this is just on a daily structural support, structural resistance. So we did get today. We got a nice rejection off the top side. Could be like a double top here from September, beginning of September. Then we got this was the high over what's that? Yesterday. Today's Thursday. Yesterday. So we got a nice rejection. This is a pretty good move for the DXY. The DXY doesn't move all that fast or volatile. So this did help Bitcoin, to go up a little bit more. But we see we had a low here, we had a higher low. So now what I'm looking at for the DXY is for us to potentially make another higher low, and hopefully, when I see these third touches up here, usually well, not usually, but sometimes they break out. So I'll be watching this area here at about 101.94 to 102 to potentially possibly hold that. And then if this happens, then look out. But they are, lowering interest rates, so that's usually bearish for the dollar. But I was watching, I can't remember who I was watching. They were talking about how the basket of currencies that are also against the dollar, or the basket of currencies that are in the DXY against the dollar, are also lowering rates as well. So while they're doing that and we're lowering rates as well, they might be lowering rates a little bit faster. It's going to keep the dollar a little bit stronger than if we were just, lowering interest rates ourselves. So we
Yeah,
got to keep our eye
ECB.
on the ECB. Yep, the ECB. I
They just
think
did their second 25 basis point cut this morning. So, and they
exactly,
did quite well
exactly.
against the dollar today. So, yeah,
Exactly. So
yep.
we got to keep our eye out, on that. and just take it into into account, especially when you're when you're trading these daily things and these daily time frames, and just keeping it in your mind, keeping it in your in your thesis and whatnot, because it's a lot of headwinds. Like I'm gonna keep saying, every video, every show that I'm on, it's a lot of headwinds. But if you're prepared, we can't predict the future, but we can try to get the best possible probability. So what I do want to see is that M pattern or that double top to break all the way down, and possibly come back down here. But this has been major support, this $100 level. So hopefully we can come all the way down and break through here, and then we can start making our way under that $100 level. But if we just come back down, around here, we do have some support right here. We have a wick here that we did on the 5th. If we come down and try to retest that wick and just use that as a higher low, then we have to watch out for that move as well.
Yeah, OC is asking for that USD versus the peso there. He wants to see some of that, so I'll try to pull that up in a minute for you. Who else we got in here? BC Port Corp. He said, anybody else in a biddy short? I got in at 58.4, just riding it out for now. That's literally what we've talked about first today, BC. Guys, by the way, if you don't know, BC Port Corp and Lunar Beaches Crypto, they trade in the morning time. They go through the charts. They have the Good Morning Crypto Show right here on Piper Academy before the morning market report. I believe they're live at like 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you guys can go check it out. They're always dropping some great knowledge in there in the morning. But I'm looking at gold right now. And I talked about gold this morning on the morning market report. And said, look, we got a nice pump up. We're at an all-time high right now. We are currently at an all-time high on gold. Let's go take a look at that chart and see what we're seeing over there. Looking at this right now, we are currently sitting at 25.58 right now, and I called this morning that we are heading to 26.40. I don't see gold weakening anytime soon. It seems to be the spot where all the money's flowing to right now that is not, that's being pulled out of the markets. I mean, they're moving upwards, but there's still money coming out of the markets at the same time, and it's going into gold. And we're also seeing it in treasury bonds too. Matter of fact, we go down and take a look at like the 3-month one. People are very bearish on this. Let's take a look at that. You can see that this is coming down, which means people are buying this. So people are bearish on the economy right now when they're looking at the, like in the 3-month period, the 6-month period, and the 1-year period. They're definitely getting in on these bonds right now. But I will point out though that the 10-year and the 2-year are both coming up. So people are starting to sell that. I think that money is probably sliding over into that gold chart right now. And I'm watching for that to continue up. I do think we'll have a pullback here in the near term just to cool this off a little bit so that all of these can refresh and reset. You see here when we got high here and we got high here, there was this little pullback of support. So I do think that we'll come back for another run of support again to retest, regain some energy and before it goes up. But I am watching ultimately sometime in the next 3 months ish that we're going to hit $2,640 gold. So yeah, you agree?
I was on mute. Yeah, go, man. We
Yeah.
we we got in gold, man. We were talking about gold in 2022. It was stagnant. It was stagnant. I think the end of 2022 we got in at 1674 or 1678 or something like that. So I knew gold was gonna have its time, but I just didn't know when. Once we start getting that economic slowdown, once we start getting the contraction, usually this is one of the things that actually played out. I did a lot of research when it comes to how the markets moved when the Fed started to tighten, when the economy started to slow down, and a lot of stuff hasn't played out yet. A lot of stuff hasn't played out, but one thing that has played out is gold being strong. Gold has been one of the strongest movers. It's not the fastest mover, but over time, like if you take it back from like the end of 2022 to now, I think the percentage gains is very very good. So gold has been going up, and I think it's going to continue to go up. I think we're going to hit 3,000 by the end of 2025, possibly sooner, maybe like the summer, man. I think the summer 2025 just depend on how far along they keep kicking this can down the road. But I think gold is one of the plays right now, as a hedge against everything. Because of course, right now, like Bitcoin is still like a not a safe haven. So thus far, we still have to detach ourselves from that stigma and detach
Yep.
ourselves from risk asset, you
Yep.
know, theme. So we'll see. We'll see. But gold right now and silver too. Silver is like maybe like 50% down from its all time high. I think silver all time high is like $50 or something like that. So might be like 30, almost $30 right now. So silver, gold, those are two of the things that we've been talking about for a long time, and they've been performing well. So I actually want to look at the Nasdaq, the NDX, if we got quick, really, some time really quick. Um,
Yep. You're there.
so
Go
what we're
for
looking at right. Okay, yeah, cool. So I'm using this chart right here too as a an indicator of where we could go with the market. The thing is though, it's kind of hard because it was a point in time, I think during like the beginning of the summer when the stock market was going up and crypto was going down. So it kind of threw my thesis off. So because I was just using the stock market, using the Nasdaq as a indicator as to how crypto would move. So we still, still look at it, and we are coming up to a nice little area of resistance, coming in at about 19,500. So depending on how we turn out this week, maybe early next week. What is going on with my chart? Early next week, we'll have to see how this plays out. But those interest rates, man, the interest rate cut and how the markets react, how everybody reacts to that will be the determiner. And it seems like everybody or all these commodities, all these assets are coming up to a point of resistance or some sort of macro resistance or some sort of pivotal point, and I think it's going to stay that way until next week, give or take. And we're going to see a big move either to the upside or the downside. But be cautious of the whipsaw action. Usually, the first move is the wrong move, like we saw when the CPI number came out. So be careful of that as well.
fact. Looks like BC Port Corp just put out that Trump announced just now that he will not debate Kamala again. Boo. So there you go. Freudian slips there. Got to keep them in line. Uh, Buck said, "Good. That's first time. The first one was time that I'll never get back. Fact, man." And Dave
Right.
Digital said
Yeah,
he's
man.
he's like number 9. So shout out to you, man. By the way, if you guys haven't done so yet, hit that like button and smash the hell out of it, and let us know that you enjoy this content, because this is fairly new. We're fairly new on this content here, so trying to gauge where people are at, and if you guys like Trade Academy. I'm actually looking at this chart that OC just had me look at. Um, he had me look at a hot mess, dude. This is a hot mess. Look at this. This is the Mexican peso versus the US dollar. And it goes all the way back to right here in April of this year that we've been dumping it, that it's been dumping against the US dollar after this nice little climb up. So it looks like Mexico's OC, I'll just say this. I hope that you're getting your paycheck in non pesos. That's what I want to hope for. Because you can see, look at this rejection here. We get a nice retest of the dynamic reactor. It dumps, right? Come in, rejection off the, dynamic reactor, rejects off the dynamic reactor here. Comes back up, rejects off of the dynamic reactor here. Comes up, rejects off the dynamic reactor here. And it's rejecting right now on that again. I would have to say that this is a stairway to heaven inversed, and we'll leave it at that. And then it's heading down. So we need Piper Channel to go around the clock 24/8, no days off. No, sir, I am retired. This is my hobby, and we have people. We're family people. Like, hey, FD, can you go live for 12 hours a day? We'd appreciate it. Thanks, man. Your kids will thank you later. So
We can put my kids on there. They'll go live. You can just see them wrestling for 12 straight hours. We can put that on the
believe it or not, people would probably watch that. Amy Lives Crypto would watch that, I believe. She'd be like,
Yeah,
"Look,
man.
it's
They
kids
wild. They
playing.
wild, man.
It's kids playing. How can I not sit and watch this?" Yeah, peso not looking too good there. OC though. OC, get
Yeah.
your
That's the
paycheck and
you know
toilet
what?
paper.
That's the cheat code though, man. Like if you're traveling or if you're doing like if you're working in other countries and these kind like when I was in Thailand, man, oh my dollar stretched so far. I was eating good for about $10, $12, man, whole family. So if you get paid in dollar or USD, like we over here, we're talking about, the US dollar is, not trash, but it is what it is. But you go into these other countries and you can see how strong or how far your dollar would stretch. So That
for
is
sure.
something. Hopefully he is
For
getting paid
sure.
in USD.
He is. Good, 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 good.
Okay, good, good, good.
BC Port Corp said if he can retire here soon, he'll fill in the gaps for the 24 hours, 7 days a week. You can just have the camera on cats. The channel would explode. That is true. I have watched some videos that are live, and there's like 18,000 people watching them, and it's literally just like cats playing in a playpen. It's so crazy, like little kittens.
Hey
Maybe
man,
that's what we need to do. We just need to have kittens like randomly run across the screen here. I'm gonna get some overlays. Want to work on it.
I got a cat,
Um,
man. We bring him over here and make him do some charting and talk for him like he's
telling
talking.
you,
Probably get a
telling
million
you.
views.
Retro Mike Tech said Amy knows. Have y'all ever watched Kick? They had a category for just sleeping, literally webcams pointed at beds while people slept. Kitty
Wow.
Crypto, let's do it. He said just keep FD's drawing off the Kitty Crypto stream.
Uh,
So I need my crypto that I have still invested to continue to go up while I trade with the rest of my money and sitting on dry powder because I'm about to make a big purchase. I don't know if you know that or not. I got the puppy coming. Uh, it's going to be delivered sometime. By the way, we have a name. We have a name for the dog. The dog's name is going to be Gypsy. So there's that. Not even on the poll list. I know that. Sorry, guys. There's only 27 of you in here listening. So the puppy's name, not even on the poll list. We went with Gypsy. But I'm getting ready to buy in October next month. I'm going to buy this right here. So got to drive to Phoenix to go pick her up. But buying a new car. And I'm saving money doing this, guys. Just so you know, this is going to actually save me money. I'm going to explain why. Right now, we have two cars. We have a Hyundai Palisade 2022 calligraphy edition, and then we have a Genesis GV70 2023. Uh, both of them combined about $30,000 left on the payoff for total. We're going to take those, trade them in. They're going to give us $76,000 for them. We'll pay off the cars, put the other $46,000 profit as down payment on this, and then the payment that we pay per month for this is less than we currently pay just on her car. So there you go. I'm taking advantage of that. And you adopted my ex-girlfriend. No, I did not, Mark Dutch. So yeah, it's going to lower my payment. We'll only have one car. We're retired now. We don't need two cars. I seem like a small dog guy. Have you seen the dog username that we're getting? Let me show you a picture. Look, it's now crypto and pets. It happened. This is the dog that my wife and I are getting right here. The Cossette is not her name, that they just have to put a name in the system. But she is a Havanese and she is adorable. So that is her. That's Gypsy. And she will be the nanny, the puppy nanny service is picking her up in on the 17th.
puppy
And so
nanny service.
yeah, puppy nanny. Why not? They're gonna pick her up and bring her to me. So uh but yeah,
Oh,
it's
okay,
a little
okay.
little small dog. So yep. Um I didn't want to drive to Missouri. Sorry. I just didn't want to do it. I travel enough as it is. I don't need to go drive to pick up a puppy. So, username said, nope, nope, not a small. I am a small. I'm actually a big dog guy. I had pit bulls, German shepherds, Great Dane at one time. But the reason that we went with this dog is because it's hypoallergenic. Allergenic, that word. Yeah, line please. And my wife is allergic, so she wanted a dog, but she needed something that was not going to trigger all of her allergies. And most of your hypoallergenic dogs are small dogs, unfortunately. So it's
Yep.
like a bald Paris Hilton buck's head. All right, man. What do you see it on your chart? Let's finish this off here. Let's pull up your chart, see what you're seeing there, and then I'll pull up one more and we'll wrap this up and get out of here.
Okay. So I got H bar, man. H bar, this was supposed to be. I know a lot of influencers, content creators who were super bullish on H bar. So I just pulled it up. I seen this on Twitter earlier. I'm not gonna
I
say
was one of
who
those at
keeps
the
on him
beginning of
about
the
it
bull
every day.
run. I was one of those at the
Yeah,
bear market
exactly.
bottom. Super bullish on it.
Yeah, so H bar and Algorand, those two have been, oh my god, they've been terrible. So H bar, what I'm looking at right now, I'm not even trying to trade this because those wicks and these movements aren't for me when it comes to trading. But I'm just trying to draw some levels that could potentially we could look at. Right now we're at 5. So we're at 5 cent. So the key levels are at about 8 cent, and then we have another one at about 10 cents. So this has underperformed very, very much. Let me see. I know because my guy texts me like, "Look at H bar." I'm like, "Put it in the chat." But H bar right now is not something that I'm trading. Let's actually zoom in, and then we can talk about trading as opposed to just looking at it from an investment standpoint. Uh, let's see what I'm looking at. Haven't even looked at H bar in like 6 months because it's been just that bad. It had a nice little run up for a minute, but after that, it was just like pretty much down only. I don't know why this keeps popping up. Did I pay my trading view account? That's the thing that I'm looking at. Okay, so H bar right now, like I it seems like it's been just respecting small ranges. See the thing about when you trade coins like this with low liquidity, probably has low liquidity, then your fees and whatnot, your spreads are gonna be high. So I'd try to stay away from trading these coins. But if we look at a small range here, just by eyeing it, possibly can come up to about point 0.5, 0.052 cent. Looks like we are trying to make our way back up. We were oversold a couple days ago. Well, yesterday popped up a little bit. We didn't touch the top of the range, so it's a little bit over the midpoint of the range. So we could see a move back up to about, like I said, this point 0.5, 0.052, depending on how crypto or how Bitcoin moves, if the overall market remains bullish. But if I'm going to look to trade this, I would look to for it to come back down to about 0.0475, and then we can, see some oscillators, see if we get some type of divergences on like the 15 or the hourly, but usually the 15 or the hourly divergences aren't as strong as our lower or our longer time frame divergences. So this is just the range I'm looking at. We've been in since the end of August. We can even zoom in. So we can just take it, like I said, range by range. We're in this range right here since we've been in here since the 29th of August. Came down, came up, came down, small little deviation, came back up, came back into the middle. So now it looks like we might be working our way back up. And it's just playing ping pong right now. So the ping pong levels will be top side 0.052, bottom side 0.047. So if you want to trade that small little range, that's the range that I would be looking at for H bar. And as far as investing in it, I'm not touching H bar. I'm sorry. It underperformed terribly during our run up. So I'm not going to even try to give it a chance and use my emotions to, hopefully it goes up. It has all type of good technology behind it. Right now I'm in it to make money and speculation and it needs to fire underneath it, no matter how good the tech is when it comes to crypto right now, because we're still so early. So I don't see anything that I'm getting too excited about H bar, but that range, if you want to trade it, that would be the range that I'll be looking for until we break above it and we have our next range, or we break below it. And then looks like we've been holding this level for a while. So that's just what I'll be looking at for H bar.
Yeah, I'm sitting here looking. I'm sitting here looking at my stocks. So back when we started the show almost a year ago, I said, guys, look, we got all this stuff going on over there with Israel and all this stuff going on with Russia and Ukraine and stuff. And I said, if I was going to be trading anything right now, I would be watching. And I gave it 5 stocks. I said, these are the 5 stocks that I would be investing in right now. And it was Booz Allen Hamilton. It was Lockheed Martin. It was General Dynamics, Raytheon, Northrop Grumman, and then I said, and then I have a Hail Mary here. That Hail Mary is going to be Spirit Aeronautic Aero Systems. They do a lot of electronics for drones and stuff like that. And I said, these are my Hail Marys. I was just sitting here looking through them. I wish I would have held these. I should have held these. If we go back and look at where they were at in October, it was August, September, October. We were right here. And this was the line, the white lines that you're going to see on these charts is where I was saying this is my buy point. So Booz Allen Hamilton from that line to current right now is up 29%. The Lockheed Martin, just which by the way, I do want to point out that one of the strategies is to use the pump, and when the quantum reactor changes colors to match it, then you can enter in on that, which would have been right here on this retest of the dynamic reactor, and you would have caught all of that move. It's absolutely amazing on stocks. This dump here, you would not have gotten into that one because you still would have been playing out on the previous cycles. But anyway, watching this come up here and retest this one to where it's at right now from that point is 33% on stocks. General Dynamics is up a lot. Let's go see here. 31% on General Dynamics. Raytheon is up. Let's go here, and that they're the ones that make the Patriot missile system, the air defense, the Iron Dome out there. That's up 64, almost 64.5% right now from when I said to get that one. Northrop Grumman right now from that point October to now is up another. That's up 15.5, almost 16%, and then Spirit Aeronauticals, my Hail Mary that I called. This one is up. Yeah, I should have held all of these. I took profit on them and said, get out. It is up right now 100%. So, yeah, brutal drop on my stocks that I did there. As far as like pumping up, and then I dropped the ball and said, okay, I'm getting out. I made a bunch of money on them. I should have held them all. Because historically, believe it or not, defense contract companies do better under a Democratic executive office than a Republican. So they like to spend money on those contracts. So
Yeah. Oh, I got another one for you too. I actually own this one that I forgot. I used to actually do a lot of business with this company. It's BAE Systems. So they also they build tanks, and they do a lot with the government. So they've been up and to the right since 2020. Year to date, let's see. I think that screen was kind of bright. Sorry
they
about that.
yeah,
They
they
were up
also do Intel support. They do
Intel
linguist
support. Yep.
support. Yeah, I know. I've
Linguistics
worked with
and all that.
BAE many times, contractors
Yep.
side by side. So
Yep. So that's another one that I would look at, because when I did a lot of work with them early 2020 during the pandemic, I just said, this is when I really started to get into my investing journey. So I said, I'm working over here, so why not invest in the stock? So I didn't invest a lot, but it's still up. Since then it's probably up, at least got to be up about 60%. So BAE is another one to look at if and it's tumultuous times throughout the world with all type of things going on in the Middle East. We're getting drugged over here, drugged over there. So when it comes to the W word, these will definitely do good in these type of times.
oh yeah, for sure. Always keep an eye on those things. Honeywell is another good one. Yes, it is.
Yep.
For sure, that is definitely a good one. I'm looking for something here. We had a question in the chat. I'm going to pull it up. There we go. Oh, no, that is not what I was looking for. What are you doing here, sir? Can I pull that up onto the chart? I don't know if I can. Nope, I can't. Okay, never mind. Disregard. I will answer that here in a minute because we're getting ready to go live over in the Discord. So, guys, if you're in the Discord and you want to come over and join us, we're getting ready to do TA 101 over there. But he had a question about the bull market support band Mark Dutch did versus the dynamic reactor, and I'd have to pull that up and look at the comparison. So, Alex O Crypto in the house, he said, "Hey, you two super handsome men, bro." There's only one handsome man on here. The other one is old, broken, thinning hairline. Well, who am I kidding? That's the island of hope right there. Okay. Let's be honest. Let's just be honest. But hey, yeah, we'll get ready to jump over there into the Discord. But FT, thanks for joining me today, man. Thursday Trade Academy and some good setups there. I'm watching that Bitcoin short closely. BC Port Corp currently is in that short right now, in there from 58.4. So good job on him. Good call, man. You got anything for the people on the way out? If not, we'll push them over to the Discord. And then, by the way, don't forget Chromo Nightcap because that's on tonight. So
Yeah, on that. So yeah, Crypto Nightcap tonight, 8:30. That's pretty much it. That'll wrap up me for the week on Piper Academy, unless we have some type of emergency stream or something like that. But like I said, the next few days, the next 7 to 10 days, if you're trading or if you're investing, is going to be, very rocky and probably a lot of volatility both ways. So just be careful.
Yep. Also, have not heard back from Tradefly yet, so not sure that there's going to be a show tonight. He had an earthquake today in California, so we'll have to check and see
Oh,
how he's doing. Yeah, your roadie was in a earthquake today, bro. While we were live on the air, so
oh, wow.
yeah, yeah. So, all right, guys, we appreciate you all joining us here. We're going to be back here next Tuesday for Trade Academy. Of course, this evening, we got Crypto Nightcap. Hopefully, we'll check and find out. And then tomorrow morning, BC Port Corp, Lunar Beaches, be hitting it off with Good Morning Crypto at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then at Market Open tomorrow, I'll be right back here with OC Guy and Tradefly doing the morning market report at the Market Open, breaking down everything you need to have knowledge, because knowledge is profit. Until then, next time, guys, trade safe. And as always, use a stop loss.